Welcome to Jason's Electronics Repair. This is me, Jason, and welcome to my ER. How's it going? We're going to work on a Nintendo Switch. I have the new computer all set up and going here. We have Barry. How's it going? Bari, however you want me to pronounce that. I'm not sure. So I have the Stream Deck semi set up. I'm still having some issues with one of my screens. I hope my audio is good, and we are going to attempt to fix a Nintendo Switch here. So, did this not work? No, it did work. So, hopefully this is working. All right, having some issues. Chris, how's it going? Thank you for the phone, by the way. The Whiz Pods, how you doing? We're going to switch to this scene. This works. So here we go. We got switch number 1011. This is a bad charger port switch here. We're going to get its home out of the way. And we are going to take a look at this. So we will look under the Annenstar scope to take a look at this charge port here. So if I go to this one, there we go. We'll take a look at this charge port here. And this one is pretty mangled up. Hopefully it wasn't plugged in with power when that was done to this charger port. So I would love to see the charger after this. It probably has stuff broken off in it. So I'm hoping power didn't get delivered to that. What is going on here? Hold on. Did the scopes get mixed up? What is going on here? Hold on. Why is that not? Hold on. There we go. Sorry. Still working out the kinks. It goes black and cracked screen. Yeah, it's fine. I'll take a look at it. I'm not going to do it now, but I'm going to do a video on it. So this is the charger port. I don't know why my camera did that to me, but I'm still working out the kinks with the new computer. So yeah, it will be handy for a known good device. It's good to have. So we have 5 viewers. It's not bad. 3 in chat. No likes yet though. Hit that like button. So this is the switch here. So we're gonna go back to this screen here. Let me get my cloth here, and we're gonna go ahead and take this apart. So this came from eBay, and we are gonna take this apart with our tri-wing and our Phillips head screwdriver. So we're gonna get this apart here. We're gonna see if we can't get this charger port off and see what's wrong with this. These screws look nasty. Look like they have a little bit of water damage on it. Let me show you one of these screws real quick. So this is what the screws look like. So they look pretty nasty, dirty. I'll swap these out for better screws. But, you know, what can you do? So let's see if I can come in a little bit closer here. This was giving me some focusing issues on the gray mat alone. We'll see if it does the same thing it was doing earlier. This does not have a kickstand, so I will have to replace the kickstand. That's normally about $10 to replace one of these. If the bracket's bad, if the bracket's not bad, it's only about $4 or $5. So we'll take out these non-magnetic screws. That's not a good sign. That one is just falls right out, doesn't screw in anymore, so that's not good. See if we can't take care of that. So now we have these two right here. So normally these devices aren't opened, but these screws look nasty and worn. There's some wearing on the yeah, thank you, Chris. There's some wearing on the rail here, so, and some gunk in there. So, no game card. So, all right. So I'm seeing liquid damage already. This cover dusty. That's expected. Normally means it may have not been opened, but I do see some liquid on the the memory card. So let's see here. Looks like it's got something in it. We'll take a look at it under the scope in a minute. Let's get this the rest of the way taken apart. Try to keep it on frame here. So last one of these, I had a bad damaged back plate here. It was damaged, so I have to replace that. So I'm doing these. I have 3 switches. I'm doing one as this stream here, one as a set of log style videos, and one in just one long repair video. And I want to see what does better. So let's get this off. Dirty. Water damage indicator's not tripped. We'll try these tweezers of Phil's here to pull off this pad. So it's just dirty. I don't see any water damage or anything. So we're gonna go ahead and unhook this battery. We're gonna unhook the battery. I don't want to test this or anything until I get it taken out here. So I'm gonna turn on my hot air. Hopefully it's set to why is that set to 480? So I'm setting it to 125. That's how I remove this heat tape, or this foam tape. So that's how I remove the foam tape at 125. I have this slide I made here that shows all the different temperatures I use, but this removing this foam is not on here. So yeah, it kind of may be water damage. I don't see anything inside, so I'm going to take my hot air here. Oh, first I got to undo these screws. So take out these screws here. What I do is I get my Tamiya tweezers. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to lift up here. I'm just going to heat this up here to loosen that tape, or the foam. Alright. I'll switch hands with the tweezers. Now I've seen Phil the coder do this at a higher temperature, but this seems to work for me. Everybody does things in their own way. go. I find at 125 the sticker is a little bit more re-stickified. We're going to use that. We're going to use re-stickified. So let that sit there. We're going to get this thermal compound off of here. So throw this away here. There. Now, I do it a little bit slower than some people, but I do get the job done. So let's see here. Yeah, it wasn't tripped, and it looks like just maybe a little bit got into the on the back of the memory card reader. We will take a look at that here shortly. So, all right, we're going to take this the rest of the way apart. Put my screwdriver away. So we're going to take off this game card reader here. All right. I'll show you something here. It's already up. If you look here, there's a little bit of something right here. We'll look at it closer. The port looks pretty dirty. So let's get this fan. Let's get the fan ribbon cable unhooked. We'll get the fan out. I take the fan out. Some people leave the fan in and work around it. I take the fan out. So I will get these ribbon cables unhooked here. We will do the LCD first. We'll use Phil's tweezers that came out. These tweezers work good for that. So maybe screwed on anything? Yeah, no, it's not screwed. It's just got a little bit of foam tape, and it's screwed to the PCB. So just gonna unhook all these cables. We know the board has to come out for the port. So we're just going to get these all unhooked. That's all those. And then I'm going to come in here with my little bitty pliers, and I'm going to undo these speaker connectors. Could do it with the tweezers, but I just started doing it with the little pliers because it just seemed to work better for me. So we're hoping that this is not a shorted CPU. And I am a little flustered. I spent from 3 a.m. to when I started streaming, setting up the stream deck. I made a bunch of custom icons for it and stuff like that. No, it's missing a screw. So I'm a little brain dead at the moment, but it's a switch repair. Should be able to get through that pretty easily. Well, 11 viewers, that's pretty good. I have to get the OBS set up where I have my chat on the OBS. And then I want to get the bot in there. Oh, wait. Wow, I really messed up. I forgot to take out these port screws. So kind of flexed the board and caused some damage there. So while that port is wedged in there because it's bent and it's broken here. Yeah, that thing was all bent up and the plastic is a little bit mangled. Looks like the little alignment tab may be broken too, so that might be a little bit more difficult to get in there. So let's do an inspection of the board here. We will use the AM scope for that to make sure that's working. I'll turn my AM scope light on here. So let's see here. So let's go to AM scope, and it needs to be deactivated and reactivated. AM scope, deactivate, activate. There we go. So let me see here. Let me get on M92. So all right. So there's M92. Looks pretty good. Just scan around this board here. We'll do some tests after I pull that port. It's got a weird looking coil. That coil looks different. That coil looks different than what I've seen before. Looks like a different coil. Looks like it might have been replaced. I don't know. Let's take a look up here by this connector here. And a little something on these inductors here. See, this has got weird inductors on it too. The inductors normally don't look like this, and that solder looks real shiny. So it's got these weird inductors on it. Everything looks good. This might be a really new revision. What's the board on this? CPU 20. Solder looks just so shiny. It's hard to see, but that solder looks really shiny. Hey, New Retro Repairs. Are you CapTech? I think you are CapTech. Diego, how's it going? Yeah, I think you changed your name from CapTech to New Retro Repairs. So this is behind the battery connector, fuel gauge chip, and that port's nasty. Look at that thing busted up. So P13 looks okay. The audio codec, Max IC. This is the anti-piracy chip up here. That's the anti-piracy chip. It's married to the board. Not sure what that is. Assuming that's power for something. Yeah, that's a power management. That's a power circuit for something. And there also little chips here. So, all right. So there's visual inspection of the board. The only thing I see damaged on there is the port. So we are going to remove that port. That is what we're going to do. We're going to pull that port right off of there. Put it in the board holder here. Set my air to 480 at 100 out of 120. I'm going to get some flux. I'm going to add some flux here. Now, with as mangled as that port is, I am half expecting to see pads pulled on this port. Not by my doing, but when pins are normally jammed that far into the Tino Captech, Jaden. Hey Jaden, how's it going? Yeah, he does some work on them Lynxes, but he doesn't like the Lynx. We know that. So I'm going to take my nozzle off of my hot air. And I'm going to get my ceramic tweezers. I'm going to grip onto the port like so. And I'm going to pull this port. So I'm going to turn on the fume extraction here. So as I get it in position. Now, I don't know what this is going to sound like because I haven't used it with the new setup yet. So hopefully that's not too bad sound-wise. So, all right. So we're going to come in here. We're going to pull this port here. Oh, not even that loud. It's perfectly doable. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to heat this up here. Wiggle it. Okay, the port is loose. All right, we lifted it. I don't see any pads. All right, we're gonna let that cool down, and then we're gonna take a look. I don't see any pulled pads, but actually, I don't know. That's hard to tell. I'm gonna keep the port over there. I'm going to turn off the fume extractor, and we're gonna go right under the amp scope. Right under the amp scope. Oh, don't tell me that's pulled pads. No, it's not. I don't think. I think that's just oxidized. Yeah, I think that's oxidized pads. Could be pulled. Let's look at the bottom of the port here. They could be pulled. Yeah, they could very well be pulled. So, oh man, with pins like that, there's really not a whole lot you can do. Turn on my FX 951. Get my fume extractor back up here. And a little bit of flux here. Okay, they were just oxidized. We'll add leaded to these grounding pegs here. Okay, so no pulled pads, guys, so you can save your pad puller comments. So, y'all can't say pad puller. Yeah, the charger port is crispy. Yeah, this is the stick vise. It's from Amazon. Or not from Amazon. I bought it from Amazon. Amazon doesn't make it. So, but we'll leave this going here. We're gonna clean this up a little bit. I bought it off of Amazon, but you have to make sure you get the high temperature the high temperature jaws for it. So, see, I feel like when the fume extractor's on, I need to talk louder and talk over it, but I think the noise cancellation does that for me, so I just talk normal. I'm not sure. So, all right, so I got the meter on. I don't know if the meter is going to work on the screen. So let's put it in continuity mode here. And let's open the meter software. Let's see if this meter cooperates. Of course, it's going to ask me all kinds of questions and hopefully not kick me off. Okay, so we got this here. Let's add instrument. That is weird. It's not picking up my meter. It's not even saying the meter's connected. Okay, so the meter is not going to be on the screen until I work that out. So, all right. So we're just going to listen for the beeps. It's going to beep. Hopefully. Oh, I don't know if you're going to hear that beep. All right. Hopefully you hear the beep. So we're going to go back under the scope here. That board's cooled down. So I'm going to go back under the scope. And we are going to check M92 with continuity mode here. And we are going to check these 3 caps. That would be a short. No short there. Okay, this one right here is a dead CPU. And that one's good. P13 looks good. Okay, so that's those. We will check this fuse down here. Fuse is good. We'll check this filter over here. Good. Good. And we will come over here and we will check this weird looking coil. So, coil's good. We will come back over here to ground. I can never remember what these caps are, which is the signal, which is the. So I just check to make sure one side. I don't get a lot of BQ stuff. So, all right. So that side looks good. Let's flip it over and check P13 in the filters. This might just need a port, and we're good to go. We'll find out. So let's get P13 on the screen here. And then I will use the ground leg here. All right. That's good. Good. All right, so everything tested all right. So sorry it's not on the screen. Yes, don't forget to smash the like button. I thought you were telling me to smash something on the board. I really did. I thought you were going to tell me to smash something on the board. That's funny. All right, so let's get that out of the way and let's get set up for a new port here. Before I do that, I'm going to clean this old burnt nasty flux off for a second because I got to wick those pads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my bigger tip out here for wicking. So I have this tip here. This is my wicking tip. It's pretty bulky. So I'm going to get that tip off of there. turn on my iron. And we'll put it back in the holder. And we will go under the and star scope this time because I can see better with room to work to wick the pads and stuff. So we'll get that on the screen, hopefully. Yep, there it is. So there is the other scope. So I tend to use both scopes. So we have our massive iron here. We will solder the tip here. All right. We will come in here. We will add a little bit of solder to that ground pad. That ground pad. That ground pad. And that ground pad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this good wick. Phil sent me some good wick. So I am going to try that stuff and see how I like it. I need to come over here like so. Not bad. Not bad, Phil, sir. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. That one needs to go from the other side. Alright. Goot wick. Yeah. I'm horrible with names. I'm just going to tell everybody. Everybody should know that by me by now. I am not good with names at all. So. Alright, so I'm just going to cut a piece of this off here. And use it better. So I'm going to flip this board over. And I'm going to do the other side here. Just for good measure, and we'll add a little bit of flux this time. See if that makes a bit of difference. Alright. It was not quite there, but probably shouldn't be holding this wick with metal tweezers because it's going to heat sink it. Sure is smoky stuff. Wow. Burnt like. So let's get that cleaned up here. Alright, let's flip this over. All right, I'm going to switch back to my other tip and just make sure I have enough solder on those pads. I just want to make sure I have enough solder on those pads. Now mine doesn't beep because I turn it off because it takes like 2 seconds. I don't leave it on to howl like an animal. So alright, so I'm gonna come in here and we're just gonna definitely add some flux to that. Alright, so we got that on there. We're going to clean that up again. Burnt flux. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to get a port out of my box. So what I've been doing is I've been tinning the bottom of these ports. I got that from Micro Mage Repair. He's another YouTuber. He does a good job. And I find that tinning the port seems to help. So I'll just use this iron. I'm going to switch you over to the AM scope so I can tin this port real quick. So there we go. So I'm just going to tin these pads here. No, man, I haven't been paying attention to the chat. The filter is working correctly now. In the past, it would have mangled. Well, it is a way better computer, so yeah, I don't know why people buy the short killer things. I don't even understand how they work. A battery can only put out so much without damaging itself, so it makes me wonder how how it even lasts with battery powered and it's basically a power supply that can be shorted. It's not very safe and it's not regulated. Like I can set my power supply down to, an amp, I can control the voltage. If I have something that's weird, I can put in, I can have it only do a volt. You have the short killer thing, you don't have no idea what it's putting in and what kind of dirty power it is. Who knows? So I'm just going to tin these pads. Turn the port a little bit. All right, so we got the pads tinned. Just going to clean that a little bit. All right, so now because I mangled that pin right there, I'm just going to trim it off a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of that because I mangled it a little bit. It'll be fine. There we go. So, solve my own problem. Alright, so we have that. Let's take you off of the scope. Let's get that out of the way. Let's go back to this scope. Whoa, double scope. Got my board set up. Ready to go. So I'm going to put my air down to 440. Same airspeed, 100 out of 120. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to heat this up with no nozzle here. Let that get up to temperature. Adding some flux. And let us see if we can't get those things to melt us for us. Let's see those pads go shiny. Almost there. Alright, now I'm going to drop the port on. Add a little bit more heat. Hold that down. Hopefully that was a good sit. I'm not sure. So we'll let that cool down. Check to see if these pins are moving. Yep, the pins are moving. I want to see what that looks like. I might have to reheat this if that's too high. Well, I might just have to touch those pins up a little bit. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to touch those up. Where's my port at? So I'll come in here, add a little bit of flux. Just going to touch these pads up here. Alright, I'm going to let that cool down. Well, I'm going to hit these two ground legs right here. Just so I anchor the port. Alright, so I just hit a little bit on those two ground legs to anchor the port. I'm going to let this cool down and I'm going to talk to you guys for a minute. So, let's see here. It's gone. Yep, peep, nice and clear. That's good. Yeah, he seemed to like the NSR. I like it. I think it's good for like you all just watched me. I went back and forth between both scopes, and it's pretty good. Jaden says my PSU is strange. I can only inject voltage. Put the red probe on ground and use. Yeah, that sounds like it may be wired wrong. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's odd. Very nice placement on the first drop. Usually they don't fall into place like that. Yeah, I got lucky there. Yeah, I got real lucky on that drop. Hopefully it's still good. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's sitting down. Normally I end up having to reflow these a couple times. Yeah, I know. I don't like to reflow them a couple times, but sometimes I have to. So we're just gonna let this cool down here. So I'm not even gonna do the probe test. Normally I shove a thing in there. Yeah, if it's putting out a negative voltage, I mean, if it's wired up correctly, then I wouldn't recommend using anything like that. I'm weird on power supplies. I don't like switch mode power supplies for electronics work, and I don't like messing around with power supplies in general that are not of high quality, and things like that. Well, 17 viewers, that's pretty good. Let's see, it says, warning, the stream's current bitrate of 2638.46 is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend that you stream at a bitrate of 4500 kilobits per second. I have no idea how to change that. So I will look it up or ask Phil. So, I think I ask Phil more computer questions than I do like repair questions. Like, I am not good with computers. So, see how this is here. Port looks good. I'm going to get this cleaned up a little bit. I know I still have to do the ground legs, but I want to make sure it worked. I tacked 2 of them in place, so it should be fine for testing. I'll pull it out, and I just want to see if it draws a current with the battery on both sides. All right, so get that cleaned out. Get a little bit of compressed air. All right. Normally, if it was just me and no stream, I would test the bejeebas out of this before I proceed forward. But we're just going to hook a battery up and hope and pray. I'm gonna get my charger. Boom, charger. My test battery that has been tested on many, many units. And we're gonna plug it in this way. Do we get power? We get power. What do we get? Oh, 0.22, 0.147. That's a little low. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That battery can't be that dead to slow charge like that. Okay, maybe that battery is dead. We'll check in a second. Let's try it this way. And it does charge the same slow charge current. So let's go ahead and do a couple tests here with it plugged in. And I got flux on my fingers. That's always fantastic. I don't know why people wear gloves. All right, so I'm going to pop my meter on volts DC. Sorry, you guys can't see it. So we're going to put our black probe on ground. We're going to just check the battery real quick. So the battery is at 4.1 volts. So this is definitely too low of charging current. So we're going to check this probe right here. And we're getting 4.19 volts. So it's getting full charging current or charging voltage. Maybe because the battery is too full, it's giving me it's actually slow charging because it's almost full completely. So we're going to go with that hope and dream. I doubt it. I doubt this is going to work. So we will. Wow, is that broken too? one is broken too. Wow, that stinks. Another heat shield broken. All right, so I got flux and stuff down there, so I want to put this down for sure. All right, we're going to hook this up. So, wow, this case is busted up bad. This is going to need a case replacement. So, if this even works. All right, let's get these cables out of here. All right. I'm not even gonna put a screw in it because I don't think it's gonna work. Okay, let's put it in the backlight. Put in the backlight here. Let's plug in the battery. And let us plug in the charger. Let's see what happens. And we got 1.8. No light on the screen yet. That battery could be extremely dead. I'll touch the power button. If that draws any more current. Does not have diode arrays, so that could be an issue. Yeah, they're not bad tweezers. Phil sent me those tweezers. Yeah. So yeah, this is slow charging hardcore. Let's check this battery voltage and see what this battery voltage is. So this battery is at 2.9 volts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug this. I'm going to unplug this battery, and I'm going to plug in my test battery and see if it turns on. So I'm going to plug in my test battery here. Because I know my test battery is charged. So we're going to see if it turns on. Yes, it does turn on with a test battery. So let's see what it does. But it doesn't stay on. Huh. Goes to Nintendo and then goes off. Let's watch it again. So it goes to Nintendo and shuts off. This may be in some kind of RCM mode here. So it doesn't get me a charging symbol on the screen. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so this one is going to require research and testing I cannot do on this stream. So, let's see what people say. Yeah, Alley takes forever. Luckily, I don't have anything out there left. I have stuff to order, but I think I'm going to order from Union Repair directly. Just make one big order because they have something else I want that the shipping is irately high on. So if I absorb it in a bunch of stuff, I think it'll make it worthwhile. So yeah, so this just pops the Nintendo logo. It only slow charges, and it could be in RCM mode. Could very well be in RCM mode. Let's try something here. Really hope this was going to turn into a fix. Let's hold this. Let's hold the power button and the hold button. It won't go into recovery mode. Could have a damaged CPU. Let's get pressure on that CPU. No, pressure on the CPU is not going to do it. Okay, so I'm not sure on this one. Could have a bad CPU. It could need a CPU reball. I need to thoroughly check my notes. I know the casing is real bad. So this one may get a CPU reball or definitely further testing off stream. So yeah, it's an odd one. So hey Johnny, how's it going? Yeah, it could be an M92. Yeah, I tried recovery mode. It could be M92, but I doubt that. Normally it would boot to an error. I have seen that before, and a CPU reball fixed it. But it could also be the NAND needing reballing. It could be a connection issue on a lot of different things. So, but it slow charges, and it just pops the Nintendo logo, and then it turns off. It doesn't boot loop. It actually physically turns off after the Nintendo logo. So let me think here. Let me just think this through here. Yeah, with the logo off and then off, it's a CPU. But it makes me think that it just maybe I could refloat the CPU. And if I refloat the CPU, that might actually fix it instead of having to reball it. I have a stencil for it, and I've done a couple practice reballs, but that's going to be a separate video entirely. So I'm going to end this stream here, and I am going to make a video on this. I kind of wish I picked the other one for the stream because I think that's going to be simple. But I will follow up in a video form on this. I'll go over what I did. I mean, all I did was change the port, and then I will see if a CPU reflow works on this or if it needs to be pulled and reballed. So this is something for the future. Well, I thank you guys for watching so much. 17 viewers still. That's great. Thank you guys so much, and have a fantastical day.